When you lose someone, especially a parent, you don't just grieve them, you grieve every identity that they can't be there for anymore. It's been 2 years since my dad passed away, and I feel like I'm finally ready to like deep dive into the whole grief thing. I want to talk about grief, man, because I feel like it's seen as such a negative thing, and everyone's like, I don't want to talk about death. It's such a somber and deep topic. Well, fuck y'all, because grief is normal and it's okay to be grieving. It's not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing. You're not a Debbie Downer because you're grieving someone you lost. Grief is okay. I'm a girlie that has lost her dad, and I know there's so many other girlies that have done the same, have had the same happen to them. So I want to talk about grief from my POV and hopefully comfort someone, because I know when I was in the thick of it, I literally had no one to talk about grief and make me feel like it was okay to feel what I was feeling and sit in it. So here we are. I'm going to get into the juicy gossip of it all. It was actually a freezing cold winter morning, the 10th of July 2023. The whole month of June, no word of a lie, I was an anxious little soul, and I couldn't understand why. Like, I literally just felt this immense anxiety, and I'm not an anxious girly by any means, but I felt so disconnected from my body, and I could not for the life of me understand what was happening, obviously, until now. I got home on the Sunday afternoon. I was crying my eyes out. All I wanted to do was be at home, and I couldn't understand where this deep feeling was coming from. And I knew, like, my soul knew what was coming, and I was preparing myself. And so we actually had no hot water, which is a bummer, especially in winter. And I thought the hot water man was here, but I was very wrong. At about 10:30, we got like 2 knocks at the door. Our upstairs, like, you have to look over to see like who's at the door, because we have like a landing. And my mum was screaming, and I was like, am I about to die? Like, did someone just enter my house like unasked for? So I thought I was going to die, actually, because I thought that someone was attacking my mum, and I was like, this is it. So my nervous system's already had one hit, and then I turn the corner and I see the police, and they're like, come down and sit down. You have to sit down. So we sat down, and that's when I got told that my dad had hit a tree on his motorbike and died. Anytime I talk about this exact moment, it takes me right back to how I felt, and it spooks me. But I was, as you can imagine, in shock. Like, what do you mean? My dad's dead. You're lying. Like, I was in denial. First stage of grief, I was in denial. I feel like my soul literally left my body. I felt like a question mark, because when he died, most of me died too. Because your parents make up pretty much all of your identity. Even through your DNA, generational trauma, like it goes deep and deep and deep, and it's so deep rooted, and you love that person so much. Like, what do you mean the person that created me is gone? Just like that. I saw him 2 days earlier. He existed 1 minute, and now he's gone. Everything after that is honestly a blur, because I'm telling you, my soul left my body. Like, I was not there for a very long time. Grief is such a complex feeling for human beings, and you just don't talk about things like this because you hear it in movies and you see other people go through it, or like distant family members, but you never think that one day it could actually be you. It hit me like a dump truck train, 5 trains at once. Like, I did not see this coming. I didn't ask for this. Grief is not a linear thing. Like, there is actually no right or wrong. While you feel like completely uncertain in the midst of grief, because you're like, wait, this person is dead. Like, this person is gone forever, and I will never see them again. It's also like I don't know how to feel right now. Like, I don't know what is going on. Your body literally shuts down. My hair was falling out. Pretty sure I heard in like a study that grief shuts your brain down to like dementia mode, because it's like, I can't handle this right now. For the first few days, I think I was literally just inside. I didn't go to sleep. I slept with my mom and my brother and I all in one big bed. And then I eventually moved my mattress to the corner of her bedroom, because I had anxiety through the fucking roof. I could not shower, bath, anything with doors closed. I couldn't sleep in my own room. Anything that like made me feel alone in my own energy was too uncomfortable and too much. It was all over the news, so I didn't have the pleasure of telling people first that like my dad had passed. But when I did, people either didn't believe me or like, oh shit, sorry, and like thought it was too much, and then kept their distance from me. And if you have a friend or someone, and if you're watching this and you haven't gone through grief yourself, that doesn't matter. This has taught me so much about humans and how we move as people. First time that I actually left the house, it was a walk around my neighborhood. I think like a couple days later, maybe even a week later. I don't know exact time frame, but I was walking around with my mom and my brother, and I just remember thinking like, what is the point of life? Like, what's the point if it's just going to get taken away from us at one point? Like, it all just hit me like a truck. Like, I felt guilty for being here. I felt angry. I felt upset. I felt emotional. And that on a single body is a lot to unravel. You can't unravel it. There's no fix to grief. There's no, I'll just go take a bath and the pain will go away. It's funny because I've noticed in my like family and my friendships and like the people around me and how they dealt with grief, I like to look at like how they were dealing with it. I feel like it either goes one of two ways. Like sometimes people, they go full like hermit mode and they don't want to talk to or see anyone, which is like understandable. But then I was the distraction type where I acted like I was fine, and I wanted to see my friends. I wanted to be a social butterfly. I wanted to get out the house and do more things. Like I prepared to sit with my own thoughts, and I'm an extremely independent, like love my own company type of girl. So I really went the full opposite way. When someone dies, usually you have like millions of people just walking in and out of your house, like bringing you food because you're not going to want to cook, all that kind of stuff. And that's exactly what happened to us. We just had people everywhere at all times, and I loved it. I found so much comfort in it. And then when my mum decided after a couple of weeks, like, okay, we just need to like process this, and they all left and like shut the door, I could not cope with it. I wonder why that is. I really do. I think it was just uncomfortability with the silence of it all. People in my life were damned if they did, damned if they didn't. So I lost a lot of friends because they fully kept their distance from me and were like, I'm not going to want to hang out with a girl who's like, dad just died. Like, oh, that's so daunting and scary and negative. Like, why would I put myself around that? And even if they weren't saying that subconsciously, people do think that way. When you go through grief, you don't have the brain power or the space in yourself to be like, I need to reach out to people. Like, I want to get myself out there and hang out with people. Like, you're just not thinking for yourself. All you can think about is grief, sadness. All the feelings that you're feeling are so consuming. You're just a shell of a human being. There's nothing up there. I didn't reach out to anyone, and it shows. Grief shows who your real friends are, because people will either be wanting to hang out with you, listen to you. If you need space, like, that's okay, but they'll still check up on you the next day. My experience, no one checked on me, and if they did, it was for the first week, and then it was silence. Even my closest friends didn't know what to do with me. That isn't exactly going to make a person going through grief feel any more less isolated than they already feel from Earth. I felt like an alien. That was a hard thing to navigate, especially as a teenage girl, when connection in this day and age is so important, and connection is a core value of mine. So it was really hard. But if you are in the midst of this right now, and like this is the phase you're going through, or you have been through this, I just want you to know that sometimes people do have good intentions. They genuinely just don't know how to do with it. Like, I can take full accountability, and I can understand that maybe I've had friends and family members and people who have gone through grief, and maybe I didn't understand it then, and I just was like, oh, sorry, like, I don't know what to do. I fully understand it now, and I have a lot of compassion actually for those people who didn't know what to do with me, because it's like, of course it's going to be uncomfortable to them. Death is a mind-boggling thing. It's just interesting to see how different people deal with grief. I know that I was just like, it's fine, I'm fine, I'll just go hang out with my friends, I'll be good, I'll dye my hair brown. That's how you know I'm going through shit. From year 1 to year 2 of grief, I feel like I completed so much in year 1 because I was running off sheer pain and adrenaline to want to make myself feel better. So yes, I started my jewelry brand. I got to travel to Tokyo. I started my YouTube channel. I did all the things that my dad would have wanted me to do. And also I did it because I felt like I had to prove to myself that I could do something, and I wanted to make myself feel better. So pain can be a beautiful thing sometimes, because if I wasn't going through all of that pain, it wouldn't have pushed me and given me the drive to like achieve all that shit in less than a year of grieving my dad. I'm so proud of myself that I am the person that I am today, and I can sit here and say like I've integrated what's happened to me into my life, and I'm using it to level up. I've been told a lot of comments, a lot of crazy things in my 2 years nearly of grieving. Again, comments, stupid comments. People have no common sense sometimes. And truly, if you don't go through it yourself, you'll never understand. And so the fact that they don't understand alone, if you've heard these comments, if you've been like, what the like, you're seriously asking me that and you want to slap someone in the face, girl, go ahead, do it for me, because there's been many times I wanted to slap people in the face for saying some stupid shit to me. They purely are making those comments because they don't understand, because if someone did understand, they wouldn't be saying that, period. So let those people not understand, leave people where they're at. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone, and I think that's a big thing as well that I learned. I don't have to explain myself to anyone. If I didn't want to go somewhere because I felt uncomfortable, I'm not going. Yes, I'm gonna listen to my grief and let it guide me. I'm not going to go to places that upset me more, or hang around with people who have made stupid comments about my grief and stuff because they didn't understand it. Like, most importantly, don't ever, and I'm holding your hand when I say this because this makes me emotional. What the hell? Don't ever hold yourself back from talking about someone that you've lost, that you love, just because you think that it's going to make someone else uncomfortable. Frick them, because that person existed in your world and they mattered to you and they made an impact on you and they guided you in whatever relationship you had. No one can say shit about it because they didn't have that connection with that person. They don't know that person. Doesn't matter. In my own family, grandparents are very like, come on, just push it under the rug. Let's move forward. And that was what my grandparents were like until they had to realize like, you can't do that with grief. And now they're definitely more understanding, but don't ever, and this is the most important lesson from this episode, do not ever let someone make you feel some type of way or uncomfortable or like you're a negative person or whatever it is because you miss someone deeply and you're grieving them. You talk about them in whatever way that makes you happy, and if you don't want to talk about them, you don't have to either, and you don't need to explain that to anyone. I feel so deeply about that because I felt uncomfortable talking about my own dad, and I didn't for a long time because one, no one asked because they are too uncomfortable with the topic of death or feeling sad or whatever it is, and two, I didn't want to make other people uncomfortable, which is bullshit because this is my life. I'm not going to wake up one day and the grief will all be gone. It's not going to go away. There's no fix. There's no change to it. You just have to integrate it into a part of who you are. I'm not going to shame myself. And I still have a dad. He's just not in this physical plane. Like, he exists. Don't even get me started on that. Also, I just want to make a point that everyone experiences grief in whatever way it looks like to them. It could be in in a breakup, losing a pet, losing a friendship. Like, grief is not one thing, it's so many different things, and it looks like so many different things to so many different people. If someone else was in the exact same situation as me, maybe they deal with their grief differently, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm better or I'm wrong or I'm right. I think that grief is a beautiful thing because it shows how much you truly love someone. It's like when people say you never know how much you love something or enjoyed something until it's gone. Grief is the ultimate. You don't know how good something is until it's gone. The more he's not here, the more he actually teaches me, and I learn to be a bit more compassionate about his life and who he was outside of being my dad and who he was as a human, and learning at such a young age that the only thing that counts in life is who you are as a person and how you impact other people, and what you bring to the world is the only thing that matters. And you don't take anything with you. Like, my dad, he had dreams of being rich and he depended a lot of his worth on like external validation and all that, but like that doesn't mean shit. He didn't achieve that. Still, we don't talk about that. We talk about how good of a dad he was, our funniest memories with him. When someone dies, that's all you talk about is the memories and how they made you feel. Like, being a good person is 10 times more impactful, and just living your life and enjoying it for what it is right now is more valuable than anything in the world. Just be a good human. Life is so complex, but it's also so simple and so beautiful, and we're literally genuinely just here to experience and be good humans and make connections and impact people. The first year of grief was all about processing and actually like getting out of denial and understanding like he's never coming back and I'm never going to see him again, and the time that I had with him, the 16 years, is that's it. That's all I got. That shit really makes you realize that like life is so precious, and you just never know what's going to happen to you tomorrow, the next day, if you're going to lose connections with someone. It makes life so special when you realize like it's very limited and your time here isn't forever. You get the same 24 hours in a day as everyone else. It's changed how I see time, how I see the world, how I see people. It's made me go deeper in my spirituality and things that I value as a human, my authenticity, because my dad, two halves of him are still on this earth because me and my brother, and I want to do everything that he didn't get to do in his lifetime, and I think that is the impact that he was supposed to leave, is me and my brother, and then we were meant to carry on what he didn't finish. I've been journaling, I've been deep diving, I've been working with my grief this year instead of shutting it down and running away from it, and I think that there's so many lessons that my dad's soul came here to learn, and I've already learnt them at 18 years old. It's sad that some souls on this earth, they don't get to have a fulfilling, happy life. That's not what they signed up for when they came down here. This is getting really woo-woo now, but daughter, nothing's delusional here. Their impact is what is the most impactful thing about them, and I am the impact. Grief has made me more myself yourself than anything else ever will, because you literally have to go down to basics and rebuild yourself again and follow your heart and your intuition and climb yourself out of tunnels. And I will always be grieving for the rest of my life. Grief is a forever thing. It doesn't go away. But I'm so lucky to have loved someone so much and to have had like the amazing relationship that I had with my dad. That's something that most people never get in this life. And even if it was just for 16 years, I still got the best dad in the world who loved me more than anything in the world. And see, I still get emotional about it all the time, but no one will love me unconditionally like that ever again, except for my mum and my family. And it just sucks. It's just a lot. It's just balls, really. There's no way to put grief and death and all that. So if you're grieving too, this is about to get me emotional. It's getting me fucked up. If you're grieving too, I want you to know that I want to be here for you. I want to be the person that I didn't have, the voice that I didn't have. Oh my God, bitch. You know what? This is grief, and crying is okay, being sad is okay, missing someone is okay, wanting to talk about someone who's not here is okay, being angry and all those feelings. You can feel so many feelings at once. It doesn't have to be like, I'm sad, I can't feel angry, or I've lost someone, I can't be happy, and then they'll think that I'm forgetting them or I'm moving on. You can feel so many different emotions at once, and that's okay. Human beings are so complex and we have so many sides to us. We're not little robots that have one setting. Like, you have many, many settings. And it's okay to feel everything at once, and to feel deeply is such a gift. And that's why us thought daughters are here in the world, because we impact people. I wish that I had someone to look up to relate to, someone that's been through what I've been through and is still integrating it into their life, instead of looking at it as like this is just another thing that's hit me again. Why does stuff like this happen to me? It's happening for you. And I know, awful to say, but our souls choose what we sign up for before we even get here. You pick your parents, you pick your siblings, you pick the people around you, you pick your environment. Shit doesn't happen for no reason, and it's a miracle that you're even on this earth. And to feel sadness and to feel all the negative feelings, we have to feel those so that the happiness and beautiful moments of life matter so much more. This second year has taught me so much, and I'm only just learning the lessons from grief that I feel like I was meant to. And I'll continue growing and learning from this for the rest of my life until I die, and then someone else will grieve me, and my impact will be impactful to them. Everything in grief is allowed. Let yourself, I don't know, if you feel like you're crashing out a little and you want to go dye your hair or get a tattoo, whatever, girl, whatever works, just crash out. Let yourself make the mistakes. I made so many mistakes and so many weird ass decisions, because you literally have like dementia. So much is going on up here and in here when you're grieving, and I don't regret a single thing of it, because it's brought me to where I am in this very moment. And I'm very proud of the person that I am and the person that I'm becoming. That's on the back to me. Self-love. Girl, I just feel deeply, man. And grief sucks, but I feel like a better, compassionate person to be able to love someone like that so deeply, even if they aren't here anymore. And I will continue to live my life to the fullest and do everything that my dad wanted me to do. I want to close this episode by saying thank you to my dad, because I know he's still here. He's watching me, and actually I've had so many crazy signs lately that, whoo, girl, I know he's watching me in every moment, and I am appreciative and thankful that he gave me life, and I get to continue his legacy and be here and live my dreams for him. It just sucks that I can't have a conversation with him or do normal human fit things on this physical plane, but I know I will see him again one day. And grief is not the end of your story. Oh my God, bitch. I thought that it was the be all and end all for me, and life would never look up again. And it has. And it's a beautiful thing. And I feel so compassionate for the girlies who have gone or are going through the same thing as me, because I've been there. I'm still in the thick of it, and I always will be. Please talk to me. You can DM me at any time on Instagram, even not just about grief, about anything. That's what I'm here for. That's what I want to do. And I feel so blessed to be able to have like this moment. But I love you, and I hope no matter what the situation or what your relationship with grief is, I hope that you know that everything is going to be okay, and this isn't the end of your story. So yeah.